girl groups and boy bands of the 90s and early 2000s hold a particularly special place in the hearts of fans that grew up in those eras. Some came together organically, and some were manufactured by industry professionals. Some never made it on the charts at all, and some rose all the way to number 1. Or number 2 in this case. Dream was one of the lucky ones. The quartet achieved immediate success from the moment their debut single dropped, but they weren't able to surpass or even maintain that achievement, and quickly faded into obscurity. Let's find out whatever happened to pop girl group Dream. Talent scout Judith Fontaine selected 4 California girls: Melissa Schumann, age 14, Ashley Poole, Holly Blake Arnstein, and Alex Chester, all age 13, for a new group she was putting together in 1998. The group's original name was First Warning, before later being changed to Dream. Judith was also the one who hooked the girls up with producer Kenny Burns, who was instrumental in molding the group's sound. Kenny then hooked the girls up with a very well-known and hugely successful record label CEO. That meeting would result in the group signing with Sean Combs, or Puff Daddy at the time, to his Bad Boy Records label and leaving Judith Fontaine. This move would also give the girls their first taste of entertainment industry drama when Judith later sued Puff, as well as Holly, Melissa, and Ashley, claiming to have discovered the group. Alex wasn't included in the lawsuit since she wasn't in the group anymore. She had been replaced by Holly's friend, 13-year-old Diana Ortiz. The lawsuit ended up being dismissed. Apparently, Alex left for the ever-popular reason to pursue other endeavors. But the real reason behind her departure is far darker and more disturbing. She expressed her experience in a very candid editorial for Onstage Blog, writing, "When I was in P. Diddy's Dream, I worked 12-hour days. I was forced to be on an extreme diet and exercise regimen. We ran 6 miles every day on top of dancing 4 to 8 hours a day. My calorie intake was constantly being monitored, my waist size scrutinized, my weight daily jotted down. If any of us gained a pound, we would have to work extra hard that day and eat less. Luckily, I left just when Dream was about to take off. They wanted Dream to sign a recording contract without having our lawyers look it through. Of course, my mom was not about to allow her 15-year-old daughter to do such a stupid thing like that. Our producers gave us an ultimatum then and there. If I didn't sign the contract right now, I could leave. I left." The group's debut single, He Loves You Not, was released in September 2000 and would go on to peak at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100.
He's into what he's got. He loves me. He loves you not.
For all intents and purposes, it probably deserved to be a number 1 hit, but Destiny's Child's Independent Women was holding strong at that position and not letting go. Their debut album, It Was All a Dream, dropped the following January. The subsequent single, This Is Me, enjoyed a fair amount of success as well, especially the music video, which claimed the number 1 spot on MTV's TRL. Despite being known for cultivating the careers of R&B and hip-hop artists, Puff, who by this time had become reincarnated as P. Diddy, had successfully led the first white artists signed to his label to multi-platinum status on their debut, a huge smash single, and multiple tours with some of pop's biggest artists. Puff was well aware of his power in the industry and how much weight his name carried that he even branded the group Puff Daddy's girl group Dream for their introduction into the music world. In a 2016 interview with Complex.com, the group made it clear that he wasn't anywhere near as hands-on as he led the public to believe he was, saying, "This was not a Danity Kane situation. It was not even close to that. There was a big disconnect from Puff and us because we were from such different worlds. We were 4 white girls from California doing pop music, and that's what also made it really great, being on an urban label. I think that's what sparked people's interest. I think that was a reason why we blew up so fast. But Puff was straight business. He didn't care if feelings were hurt. He said what he needed to say. He would tell us we needed to lose weight. He would tell us he liked or he didn't like that song. Just very business with us. And then, less than 8 months after their album dropped, Bad Boy halted its promotion in the wake of the events that occurred on September 11th, 2001. By next April, Melissa, who was dissatisfied with the business decisions being made since the incident, had left the group and new member, Casey Sheridan, came in. She would get the opportunity to record vocals for the group's sophomore album, but the group's dream would soon become a nightmare. The lead single, Crazy, tanked, and the girls were dropped from the label. Although initially shelved, their second album, titled Reality, would be released in limited quantities in France a couple of years later. It would finally become available in the US on iTunes in 2008, but as of now, it's been removed for unknown reasons. In the years that followed, the members all ventured off on different paths. Diana, Melissa, and Ashley created a new group called Lady Phoenix that went nowhere. One major factor was Melissa's pregnancy. The trio even filmed footage for a potential reality show, but it failed to get picked up by a network. Ashley then embarked on a solo singing and songwriting career. Melissa tried her hand at acting, appearing in films including Love Don't Cost a Thing. She also married and had the baby that caused all the Lady Phoenix drama, a son. Diana left music altogether and went into the food and beverage industry. She also told her LGBTQ+ story in support of the History Unerased organization about knowing she was a lesbian at a very young age and wishing she had a community back then for support. Holly joined another band called World Magnet for a short time, got a master's degree, worked as an occupational therapist, and became a wife and mother. Then, on May 29, 2015, the original members of Dream announced via Twitter that they would be making a comeback. The decision came as a result of a reunion of sorts they had at Holly's home to celebrate her birthday. At the time, the group seemed to show a lot of growth and maturity and appeared to have a firm handle on how they wanted to approach this new chapter. In the same Complex.com interview, Melissa spoke about their vision for the future, saying, "We are committed to making this for ourselves, for each other, our families, and fans, so that this time it can actually sustain itself and not be where I feel like other girl groups will be like, we're doing a reunion thing, and then they're gone. This is more to us than just that. Ideally, we'd like to make music together for the rest of our lives. It's serendipitous for us. We love each other and we should be making music together. And it's not fair to us or the fans to not go for it. We owe it to ourselves to go for it and finish what we started. This time around, it's going to be the way it's supposed to be done." By the middle of 2016, they would complete a tour and release their first new single in over a decade. Unfortunately, by October, Ashley announced via Snapchat and Facebook that Dream had once again disbanded. Nothing much was heard from the group until 1 year later. However, it wasn't music related. Melissa made the tough decision to finally come forward and reveal on her blog that Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys raped her 15 years ago when she was 18 and he was 22. Not surprisingly, Nick immediately released a statement denying the allegations. In 2019, Ashley and her husband, who just happens to be the brother of short-term Dream member Casey Sheridan, happily welcomed the birth of her boy and girl twins that were conceived through IVF after years of infertility issues. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.